Hey guys, James with Torches and Tactical, and today we're going to be talking about something that I'm surprised we haven't talked about already, and that's the i3T EOS line from our friends over at Olight. Now before I get into, yes, the brand new Donut i3T EOS, I do just want to say that right now Olight is having their 16th anniversary sale, and that's going to be from 4/18 at 8 p.m. all the way to 4/22 at midnight. So if you like any of the i3T EOSs or even this brand new Donut i3T, you can get it 15% off during the 16th anniversary sale. So let's start by saying happy birthday Olight, and let's continue by saying that they want to keep the celebration going to you guys too. So not only did they send me one for review, but they also want you guys to get in on this as well. So they sent me another Donut i3T EOS as well as their free login gift, the i3 EOS in OD green. And all you have to do is watch the video to the end, and I'm going to sneak in a question that I need you guys to send over to me, and I'm going to randomly select a winner that's not only going to get a brand new Donut i3T EOS, but also that OD green i3E. So with that being said, let's move on to the review. All right guys, now to start, the i3T EOS has been out for quite some time, and they came out with a lot of standard or plain colors, if you will. Now this is my i3T in Desert Tan, but they decided they wanted to up that, so they started doing gradients. Now this is their Mountain Sky, but I did have this engraved with a custom topography theme. Then they thought we might as well go to some exotic materials. So they brought it to the next level and made the i3T out of stainless steel. And if that wasn't enough, they do also have titanium, and unfortunately I don't have one of those with me now, but they wanted to keep the exotic materials going, so they brought out carbon fiber. Now I don't know about you, but this is incredibly light and is always in my arsenal. And finally, they wanted to get a little bit sweet with their fans, so they brought out the i3T EOS. Now this does give you 180 lumens from the included AAA battery, and that 180 lumens is in high, but if you decide to drop it down to low, you can get up to 16 hours of runtime from one single AAA battery. Now it does shine out all the way to 60 meters, and that's pretty good for something so small. And if you're worried about being rough with it, it does have 1.5 meter drop resistance as well as IPX8, because it does have a very, very nicely done O-ring seal on that tail cap. And while it's small, I know there are some, like the stainless steel, that can weigh a bit more, but you don't have to worry about that with the Donut. Now the Donut is only 1.4 ounces or 39 grams. And as far as dimensions go, this is 89 millimeters by 15 millimeters, and that's excluding the pocket clip. So everything stays nice and compact and will stay in your pocket. But before we keep going on the light, let's go ahead and move these out of the way and focus on the packaging. So this is the box that the Donut i3T EOS comes in. Now you can see on the front, it does give you a very, very clear indication of what's inside. And if you flip it to the side, you can see that this is warranted for 5 years from Olight. It does have a little QR code if you need to find out more information about that. But on the back, it'll let you know that high comes in at 180 lumens, shines for 60 meters, and runs for 21 minutes. And low comes in at 5 lumens, shines for 12 meters, and runs for 16 full hours. Now, if you like those numbers, that is 900 candela. If we keep going, you can see the serial number for your particular light, and we can dive on in. Now, if we open it up, you will see a sort of blister pack with a little bit of a README. Now, this is going to let you know that it does ship with that battery, but there is a small insulating film that needs to be removed before you can utilize it. And to be honest, there's not much more in here. Since it does include a non-rechargeable AAA battery, you don't have to worry about any charging cables or anything like that. But it does include a user manual. Now this is one of the most simple user interfaces you can come across. So I don't know if you're going to need these, but at the same time, they're always going to make sure that you can have these on hand if you ever need them. Now if we get back to the light, let's go ahead and just take a look at this here for a second. Now I know that Boker has done this at a Desert Warrior pink with sprinkle or donut themed devices in the past, and that's moved over to quite a few other areas of the EDC community, and it seems to have taken off like wildfire. But you can see here that you do get your yellow, blue, and red sprinkles all over that pink icing color. It does not extend to the tail cap, and that makes sense to me because that's going to be a high wear point. Now, I am kind of curious why they didn't do anything with the pocket clip. But if we focus on the body of this light, you can see that this does differ from other i3T EOSs in the sense that this is a completely smooth body except for the intentional machining. However, it looks like these are painted on, but if I can zoom in, you can see that there are actually little machined grooves, and then it's almost like, I don't know if it's a paint or a resin or what, but all of those sprinkles are actually machined into the body of the light and then filled with color. But other than that, you don't really notice too much texture from it, although it is still slightly present. You do have the i3T EOS, and like I said, you have that serial number here as well. Now the i3T EOS, as well as the i5 series, they do have the double machining grooves, and that extends onto this as well. Now, one thing I have noticed about that is these double machining grooves, they continue all the way around, and that kind of forces, unfortunately, in my opinion, that does kind of force the fact that these are kind of in sync with each other or uniform. They're all kind of go in the same direction instead of randomly aligned like this. Now, if they had kept this a smooth body, they probably could have had more variation in the direction of the sprinkles. But continuing on, there is a groove cut in here for the pocket clip, and the pocket clip is very sturdy. For how thin it is, it does give you a lot of spring resistance. Now, one nice thing about this is it does have a little bit of a throat, so when you throw this in your pocket, it does mainly disappear. Now you can see you have just a little bit that would stick out of your pocket if this sat all the way down on the ridge of your jeans. But it is a two-way pocket clip as well. So if you decide to, you can clip this onto your cap, and that's going to give you the option to use this as kind of a makeshift hands-free headlamp. Moving back towards the end, this does have long single direction machining cut in, and that's going to give you a ton of grip when you need to remove this tail cap and replace that battery. Now, I've never had an issue on any of them, honestly, taking this off. And to give you a comparison, the carbon fiber does have sort of straight rifling, if you will, as opposed to the grooves. But I think that's just a design choice made because of the material used here. Okay, guys, actually, you do not have to answer a question for this one. I literally just want you guys to send me an email to youtube@torchesandtactical.com with the number 5. And everyone who sends the number 5 to me will be entered, and after 1 week, I will pick a winner for the i3T EOS and the i3E EOS. But this tail cap does give you nice spring back as well as tension, and that's going to let you select your mode in a momentary. So you can half press and go to low, or you can release and half press again. And that's going to go to high or your full 180 lumens. And then if you're in the mode you like, you can go ahead and just click it all the way down. And you'll stay locked into whatever mode you so choose. But there is, like I said, quite a bit of spring back on this. So all of your presses on that tail cap are going to be intentional. Now it is a black rubber material. I can't tell if this is rubber or silicone, but it does sit inside a plastic housing. And if you take off that tail cap, you can see that the whole body of this tail cap is copper, and that's going to give you a very good contact point. Now it is O-ring sealed and has for its size, a very stiff gold-plated spring. And you can see that the threads in here are not anodized at all. So as soon as you make contact with that copper, you can operate the light, even if it's not all the way seated. But moving on to the battery, they do ship with a 1.5 volt AAA alkaline, and It is isolated during shipment, so as soon as you get that, make sure to take out that yellow sleeve that stops electrical conductivity. But getting this back on there, we can move towards the business end. Now this is a Luxion TX cool white LED under a TIR optic. And from what I can tell, this is a plastic lens. So make sure that you're not sitting there scratching it on gravel or anything like that, because it will scratch up. Now this is press fit in. So hopefully you don't need to do any sort of service on this, but it does also help with that IPX8 water resistance rating. So all in all, I think this is a very, very commendable option as far as a very tiny pocket carry. And if this one doesn't do it for you, like I showed, they do have a multitude of other options and materials. Now I don't have one with me, but they do also have this brass like the i5T. They have those for the i3T as well as titanium, and I'm sure others will be coming down the pipeline as well. Now for a size comparison, I will put this up against the ThruNite Archer Mini. Now this is another small ultralight pocket carry, and just having them side by side, they feel very, very close. It is kind of a different design, and this one does have an E switch as well. But I think all in all, that really does give kind of an edge to the i3T EOS. Knowing that you have that mechanical click with that tail cap is going to give you a little bit of confidence in knowing that you're always going to have that mode ready to go. So what I would like to do is I'd like to take this out and compare it to the ThruNite Archer Mini, and we'll see how the beams compare with each other. Now you can see from the front they do look kind of the same, but at the same time quite different. So let's get outside and we'll compare these and come back in for a couple final notes. Alright guys, for this comparison we do have the Olight i3T with the donut livery. Here is low. And here is high. This is all 180 lumens. And for comparison, we have the ThruNite Archer Mini. Now this is low. And this is high. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. Well, let's get back inside. All right, guys, we went outside and we saw the Olight i3T EOS in its donut livery, compared that to the ThruNite Archer Mini. Now, all in all, I do have to say that I wish there were a rechargeable factor to the i3T EOS. Now, the Archer Mini, which I will be reviewing soon, does have USB-C built in, but this does give you the benefit of being able to swap out that battery at any time. Now they do also accept nickel metal hydride and lithium in 1.5 volt cells, but unofficially, I won't be doing it in this video, but I will have a video coming out about it. Unofficially, you can accept a 10440 cell, and that is a 3.7 volt. Now the manual will tell you that you should not throw one of those in because it will void the warranty, and that's true. But I have tested it, and I'll go through that here in a second just to show you. And I'll go through that here in another video just to show you the difference between that standard cell and the lithium ion rechargeables. But guys, the i3T, in all of its different materials, the different finishes, and its familiarity, this has always been a pocket carry that is in one of the top few slots for me. So what I would like to know down in the comments below is what you guys think of the i3T, whether it be this donut theme or any of the other ones that I showed you. Now remember to look down below. You will see that email pop up to win your own i3T EOS in donut, as well as the OD Green i3E EOS. So thank you guys for being here today, and we will see you in the next one.